Hey everyone, it's Candice, and I'm going to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. And so, I have tried to start a Booktube channel 2 other times before this, so we're hoping third time's a charm. And even though this channel is going to be more than just talking about books, I still want to talk about books, so I thought I would go ahead and do this. So I have all the questions here on my trusty little iPad, and we'll just go ahead and dive right in. So question number 1 is, why did you start this channel? And kind of touch on that a little bit. I have been a part of the Bookstagram community for quite a few years now, say 4 or 5 years, very early on, and I love posting about books there, but I also feel like sometimes I'm not the best at writing reviews. And maybe I'm not the best at talking about reviews either, but at least here I can like flail my arms and you'll see like, oh, she really liked that book. Or like, oh, no, I didn't like that book. So I feel like it's just a little easier to express sometimes. I'm a very visual person. I have very expressive emotions on my face. So I feel like this will just be a good way to do reviews that is more than just me trying to like type like, it's good, I liked it. So yeah. All right, question number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I'm old, so maybe that's something. I'm 34, so I have been around for a while, so maybe my life experience, but probably not. Probably just gonna bring maybe like liking more more franchise-y stuff. So I'm doing like a massive like Star Wars read through this year, so I do read a lot of stuff that's part of part of canon. So I read a lot of Star Wars, I read a lot of comics, so trying to get back into reading a lot of Marvel comics again. We even just got the DC subscription, so maybe I'll even start reading some more DC comics. So kind of definitely comics would be a little bit different. I read pretty widely. I read a lot of romance. I feel like I'm a little picky about it, but then at the same time I'm really basic. So like I love a small town romance. I'm trying really hard to find more diverse small town romances. Where is that? Where is that? Please give that to me. If you know any, please leave me a comment below and tell me the name of it, and I will go out and buy it immediately. But yeah, so hopefully it'll be quite a variety, but I think that just me bringing something a little bit, rather than maybe just the same YA books that I think circulate a lot around on Booktube, which I am so appreciative of the people that do those videos and talk about those things, but I am not as into YA as I used to be. And I feel like I just read really broadly. Oh, another thing is I read a lot of audiobooks. So hopefully talking about audiobooks on here will be a little bit different. I don't feel like I run across as many YouTube videos that discuss audiobook reviews. So I've had like, I don't know, I think like 65% of my reading this year has been on audio. So I read a lot of audiobooks. So yeah, if you like audio, maybe I'm your girl for that. Maybe. All right, let's keep going. Number 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? So I just hope it's a creative outlet, and I'll be able to just connect with other people that like books that I like. I don't often see, like I said, like a lot of like the comics and kind of the franchise books that I read. I don't see as much on that on Bookstagram, and I'm putting it out there because it's what I love to read, and I've had to kind of accept that, you know, maybe this isn't everybody's jam, but maybe I'll get to connect with some of you out there that also like those types of books. So it could be good for all of us, right? And number 4, why do you love reading? I think I love reading most because it helps me escape from my day-to-day life, and it's probably one of the reasons why I listen to a lot of audiobooks at work, because I kind of have a job that a lot of times is me kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And so reading audiobooks allows me to kind of escape that mundane time of my day. But also reading has taught me a lot of empathy, and has taught me a lot about other cultures, and has allowed me to kind of step into somebody else's life for a couple hundred pages, and that's really awesome. Like, there's not many experiences that you get to have with that. Like, just reading is so special. It's educational, it's entertainment, it can be both at the same time and not at the same time. And so I just love books. Like, I love reading. I've read for a very long time, and I don't see that love going away anytime soon, thankfully. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? And because I'm so old, so old, guys, so old. I was already grown. Like, I was in high school when like the Harry Potter books were coming out. So it definitely wasn't like I will say Harry Potter did end up getting me back into reading, kind of at the end of high school in my early 20s. And She Who Will Not Be Named. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about the series now and stuff, and maybe I'll make a video about that. But that was something that did get me back into reading as an adult. But as a kid, I just always, like, my mom would always take us to the library. My older brother would read to me all the time. So books were just always around. I mean, we had like these little Disney books that actually my mom sent me a box of them from my childhood like a couple months ago. So maybe I'll do a video about that. But yeah, lots of the picture books and the books that you like have the tape that would play and it would ding when you'd turn the page. So that's all stuff that really got me into reading. And then I will say A Wrinkle in Time in like elementary school, that holds a very special place in my heart and definitely elevated my love of like science fiction. So I can thank my like 5th grade teacher, Miss Jackman, for that book. She gave that to me and I fell in love. All right, number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think just how do you constantly continue to come up with content? I mean, I think that can be probably the most exhausting thing, is like really thinking about like how can I continue to be creative and not keep making the same videos over and over again. And that's why I love watching like Read with Cindy's one of my favorites. I love her. Her very honest and dry humor is great and very refreshing, because I feel like I have had a lot of friends like that in my life, and so it's nice to see that in this community as well. So she's great. I admire her a lot. So just how does she continue to always come up with great videos with great fun ideas? Like, her brain just like blows my mind. She's so great. All right, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think just actually sticking with it. This is, like I said, my 3rd time trying to do this, so I really want to stick with it. And that's why my channel is going to have other things besides talking about books, because I don't want to get pigeonholed that I'm just here to talk about books, because I have so many other interests. So I think, you know, and then also finding time to read. That's always the hardest part, like, because I want to be able to be reading enough that I come on here and I'm talking about new things and not being like, oh, I'm still reading that same book from 3 weeks ago, even though that's reality sometimes though. So maybe that is actually good to show. Like, maybe that honesty is actually really good to show. So I don't think I'm alone in that some books take a little longer than others. Number 8, when did you start reading? I started reading when I was little, like 3, but I've had like waves, ebbs and flows of reading. So, you know, fallen out of it throughout the years, but really like in my like early 20s is when I got really back into reading. And then I think it was like 25 when I got a Kindle for the first time, and that just like blew up my bookshelf. And then when we moved to Portland when I was 26, that was when I like got a library card again, and that's when I started actually like signing up for reading challenges and, you know, averaging 75 to 100 books a year. So, and I'm well on the way to that this year. So number 9, where do you read? Anywhere, everywhere. I read a lot at work, like I said, with audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks in the car as well, but then when I'm at home, mostly my couch or in bed before I fall asleep and the book falls on my face. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? So I read a lot of romance lately, and then I read a lot of nonfiction as well, mostly on audio, but I also like science fiction and fantasy. Like I said, I'm reading a lot of Star Wars this year, and I have a lot of literary fiction on my shelf that I've just kind of accumulated over the years, that I'm not the biggest like just literary fiction fan, but it's stuff that I still want to get to. So, but mostly romance, science fiction, fantasy, YA, science fiction, fantasy is more of my preference than adult. And I've actually picked up a couple YA books that fall in those genres recently, and I'm very excited about that I will be showing off soon. So thank you. If you watch this whole video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel like I'm rambling and I'm really trying to figure out my voice on this channel and my setting, and I'm literally sitting on the floor in my living room right now because I like this background, but I want to figure out, I was too lazy to find the full-on stand to put my camera on, and so we're getting a little lower, but you get to see my Star Wars shelf, which is pretty cool. Like, there's some good stuff on there. I'll do like a little shelf tour and my other bookshelves that are on the other side of our apartment sometime. So thank you. Hit subscribe if you feel like it, but I would appreciate it, and I hope that you like this video and share it with someone that you think might also like these videos. That, hey, maybe you have a friend that loves to read lots of Star Wars books. You should tell them about my channel because I am going to be talking about them. I have so many I've read this year. So mostly comics, but yeah. So as I ramble more, thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, bye.